Welcome to Momentum's virtual training series, where we invite expert facilitators to share their knowledge on topics that advance women in leadership.
Lisa Schuck has been an amazing friend with us here at Momentum Leaders, and we're excited to have her here leading us today on a recap. So she was with us in January, helping us to kick off the year great and strong and setting our goals. And today is going to be a check-in of, hey, how are you doing? And making sure that everything is going well with us. And if you are having a little bit of struggles, that's okay. We all do at times. And Lisa's going to help us get unstuck and get us back on track. So, Lisa, I'm going to turn this right back over to you. Thank you for being here.
Oh, I am so excited about being here. All right. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be back with you all today. Some of you went on an epic quest with me in January to set down goals and make a plan to achieve them. We learned some time management techniques and how important mapping out quarterly, monthly, weekly tactical actions were. That those are the things that add up to achieving our goal. Well, I don't know about you, but it is now the 198th day of 2024, and we have 167 days left. Now, for those of you in your head are going, wait, how many days till Christmas? That would be 161, but put that aside for today. I want to know, how are your goals going? If you're like me, some may be going well, some may be going less well, and overall, you may be less enthusiastic than you were in January. Today, we're going to review where you stand and whether or not you may need to pivot or do a complete overhaul on a goal. Either way, we are going to walk through some tips and tricks to get you on track. And we're going to give ourselves a little pep talk, some positivity, and well, let's get our mojo back. We're going to go with the slang definition of mojo today, which infers power and luck. Because people, we got the power to change our lives by the goals we set and the energy we keep. Let's get our mojo back, find our groove, and smash our 2024 goals. All right, briefly, here is what we're covering today. We're going to figure out where we stand on the goals we set and hopefully wrote down earlier this year. Then we're going to discuss how to review decision points and determine if you need to adapt or pivot your goal in order to achieve it. We will map out and realign our goals and objectives for the third and fourth quarter. And if you haven't written any down, well, we're going to make that happen today too. Then a little motivational mojo work, because we all need an energy shot during these hot days of summer. We're going to review time management tools. And finally, I've created a landing page with some resources for you all, and I'll share those with you at the very end. Now, let's be honest. When we set our goals at the beginning of the year, we're on fire. We have energy. It's a straight shot. We know what we have to do, and we're going to do it. And then life happens. And hitting our target goals looks a little bit more like this. A crooked path, much different than the straight line we thought it would look like. Now think for a second about one of the goals you set for yourself at the beginning of the year. It can be personal or it can be business related, but I want you to have it in your head because I want to take a minute and do a quick poll of where you are with your goals. So where are you on the path to achieving your goal or goals this year? A, goals, what goals? B, okay, maybe 25% there. No way it's happening this year. C, good, I'm about 50% there. I can make this happen. Or D, excellent, I'm going to achieve my goal. No problem. We are actually going to do a little poll. So Darla, if you want to throw up our poll, and you guys, this is anonymous. So be honest with your answer of where you stand with your goals. I think we're going to do a poll. We practice this. How we doing, Darla? Can we do a poll? She's on mute.
I'm getting some responses.
Oh, you are? Oh, I can't see it, so I don't know. Can y'all see the poll?
Can everyone else see it?
Thumbs up.
Let me see.
It was on at the beginning, so I already submitted my response. I can't see it now, but maybe because I already responded.
Awesome.
Right, if you've already
Thank
responded,
you
it will go.
so much, Joan.
Can everyone else see it?
I saw it and submitted my response. Great.
Great,
Yeah.
great. Can anyone see it now?
No. All right. Doesn't matter.
Is it
So here's the
on
deal.
my
If you
screen?
can't see the poll,
Because it's on my screen.
it was our ticket for entry. Kathleen, yes, there you go. Ticket for entry. Also, yes, I see a lot of Lindsay's in here. I know there were some technological difficulties on the Zoom webinar before we got started that Darla and Lindsay were working on. If you click on the dots, you can rename yourself, which would be great. Because not that I don't love seeing 100 Lindsays, I do love to be able to see your name and be able to call on you. All right, have we got, can you give me a general answer of, because I
Yes.
can't see it.
So the what I am seeing from everyone who answered is we've got 25% of okay, maybe. There's no way it's happening this year. Good. About 50% there. I can make it happen. And then the third thing is excellent. I'm achieving my goal, no problem. And then we've only got just a few that are saying what goals? Goals? I don't know. What goals?
So B and then C and then E. So, okay, 50%, excellent. Is that right? Is that where I got it? Okay,
So 50% is good.
that's
About good, that we can
excellent.
make it.
I'm so excited. All right, here we go. Whether you are on track or off track, because by the way, 50%, that's great. We're halfway through the year. It is okay to look and determine what needs to be true for you to achieve what you set out to achieve. I want to encourage each of you to understand that having to adapt, pivot, or even put aside a goal you set for yourself is not a personal failure. In fact, I love this quote on pivoting. Pivoting isn't plan B. It is just part of the process. So let's talk about how do we look at our goals, adapt, pivot, or abandon. So I want you to determine if you need to adapt or pivot or even abandon and reset a goal. If you look at the goal you set, the objectives that are tied to it, and the tactical actions you need to take to achieve said goal. If you're not making it happen, determine, is it due to an external change? Something in your personal or work life has happened that has made this goal much more difficult. Is it upon internal reflection, you just decided this is really not something I need or want to achieve, or you really determine you kind of got a change in priorities, or you have a loss of motivation. Or the third, which is where I want us to think about how to adapt or pivot, is progress evaluation. Because I think a lot of times we create goals at the beginning of the year and we think we know what needs to happen to achieve said goal. And then there are unexpected obstacles, timeline adjustments, things don't happen as quickly as you think. It's okay. So everyone, I want you to think about one of your goals and drop in the chat. Do you need to adapt, update, pivot, or abandon? All right, what we got here? Update, pivot, adapt, or abandon? Give me some answers. Adapt. Yes, adapt. Adapt is such a great word, don't you think? Adapt, 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 adapt. Pivot. Okay. Elizabeth needs to pivot. Update. Yes. Perfect. Well, we're going to spend some time looking at how to do that today. All right, here's a helpful little worksheet for us to use. We're going to drop a link in the chat for you to go and grab this. It is also part of a download on a resource page that I have it in it. But we're going to see this for a couple of slides. So don't feel like I'm about to click off of this and you're going to be like, wait, what? I don't know where it is. Okay. So Darla, can we drop the link in the chat? Thumbs up. Excellent. All right. Why is this worksheet important? Because statistically, writing down what you want to achieve boosts success by 42%. In fact, I'm going to go so far as to say writing it down gets you 42% of the way there. Kidding, but take a moment and think about a goal for yourself that helps you achieve a longer term vision. What is the goal that you need or want to achieve by the end of 2024? I do not care if it is personal or business oriented. I just want you to write it down. And I'd love for you all to drop a goal in the chat as well so we can celebrate. And I'd like to use one or two of you as an example for what comes next, which is what has to be true. All right, I'm going to give you a second to scribble your goal down. Maybe somebody drop theirs in the chat. Darla, did we figure out how to give them the link? Did y'all, really? I didn't see it. Did it go through? Kathleen, become a True 40 instructor. Sally, get healthier. Right. Becoming a morning person. Good luck with that. Streamlining a contracting process. Ooh, I like that one, Elizabeth. That's great. Prospect consistently. Stephanie, yes, absolutely. I'm not seeing the link. Okay, that's okay. We're all good. Oh, I see a link. It's going through quickly. If you want to grab that link, it also will be available to you guys at the end. All right, here we go. What has to be true? If you have a goal written down, as we start breaking it down, it is important to figure out what has to be true for this goal to be achieved. This is the best question to ask yourself whenever you're trying to achieve a goal. Heck, I use it when looking at projects for work or devising strategies and problem solving. If you start with what the end looks like, what has to be true along the way for you to make that happen? What has to be true for you at the end of a quarter, going into the quarter, for it to add up at the end of the year to success? The reason this is important is because there will be times during the course of the year when something will happen in your personal or business life that means you might have to adjust. And you need to know what needs adjustment in order to stay on track or to adjust your end metric. Asking yourself what has to be true gives you the opportunity to think through and define what needs to happen in other areas of your world for you to achieve an objective, which leads to a goal, and ultimately your vision. I have what has to be true written on a sticky note on my computer to remind me to think through the different pieces that together make up the whole. All right, next up, we're going to list the actions and activities needed to achieve this goal and be specific. I'm picking on Kathleen here for a minute. She told me I could. If, for example, you are trying to become a True 40 instructor, AKA Kathleen, I want you to walk through this. And this is a simple walkthrough, but I want you to look at the elements and I want you to think about them. For instance, one of the things Kathleen will have to do to achieve this goal is talk to the owner of the exercise studio and determine what needs to happen. For purposes of this exercise, I just kind of guessed a few things here. Kathleen, you're welcome to unmute and tell me if there's something else. There may be more that needs to be done that Kathleen will have to add after having that initial conversation. But look at what has to be true. She's going to have to budget time. And I also know that Kathleen will have a conversation with her husband, Daniel, to determine how this goal of hers fits into their life. Right now, look at the success metrics. And this is where I think sometimes we fall apart when we do goals. Each month, there's something that needs to be achieved in order for a goal to be reached. Mapping out your success metrics is a critical piece of goal setting. You have to know if you are on track or off track. Because, for instance, if Kathleen hasn't reached her October objective of co-teaching or partnering a class, is she going to be able to teach her first class solo in November? Spending time to determine what has to be true and what success looks like along the way will help you move your goal along. And look at the top. See the word reward? I am all about celebrating your wins. Now, I'm not sure what Kathleen's reward will be, but I know she's a foodie. So a nice dinner out and perhaps a new workout outfit to celebrate is a way to reward herself for achieving this goal. Which, Kathleen, can you unmute? What is your reward for achieving this goal? Are you still here?
Yes, and will now be dinner and a new workout outfit. So thank you for the
You're
idea.
welcome. Everybody think about what your reward is going to be. It's important to celebrate. Celebrate because it's going to be a lot of work. Here we go. I want you to write down your goal because we all want that 42% of a head start. And in the chat, tell us what your reward will be to yourself. You can name your goal and your reward, or just name the reward. How will you celebrate you and your win? All right. We know Kathleen's going to now go to dinner and get a new workout outfit. Anyone else have a reward? Take a day off. Absolutely. What else we got? If you become a morning person, what are you going to do to celebrate? Sleep late? Just a question. If you prospect consistently, what are you going to do? What's your reward going to be? Because once you filled out this worksheet for your goal or multiple sheets, if you have several goals, I want you to put it someplace you can see it each and every day. Tape it to a wall, put it on your nightstand, put it on your refrigerator with a magnet, but keep it front and center so you have a constant visual reminder of what you are trying to achieve. It is of critical importance. All right, now people, we're going to get our mojo back. We've got our goal written down. We are ready to adapt or pivot. Oh, now I'm getting some rewards. Vacation, spa day, absolutely. Day, loving these rewards. All right, we've got our goals. We know how we're going to celebrate. We're ready to adapt or pivot, write down the actions and activities and the success metrics, and life happens. So for the next few minutes, I want us to be motivated, hyped up, and learn a few ways to keep up the energy we will need for when the baby is up 6 times during the night. You don't want to get up and exercise, but instead you want to eat complex carbs and chug Diet Coke to get through your workday. Or you get handed a project that is not in your plan, but it has to get done. So you will have to do some extraordinary time management to make it happen alongside the activities you need to get done to achieve your goal. Whatever it is, we need to understand that there are times when we got to figure out how to get our mojo back. I love this quote. This is one of my absolute favorite quotes. Staying motivated just doesn't happen. Zig Ziglar says, people often say motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. You have to stay motivated by the books you read, the music you listen to, the people you hang out with, the thoughts you think, and the habits you live into. It is super easy to doom scroll and roll into bed each night or watch something mindless on television because you need a break. But it is just as easy to incorporate motivational messages into your day. So I want to talk about a few ways to be and stay motivated. The concept of motivational messages is something I love incorporating because we each have minutes every day when we can do something that encourages our spirit. If someone was to ask you to add something to your day that say take 20 minutes, you'd probably hesitate. How do you find 20 minutes in your crazy busy day? In fact, you'd have to be highly motivated for that to happen. But what if I said, hey, choose a couple of these. They take minutes and will completely change the way you look at the day and other people. You say a minute? Really? So here we go. Let's define and design a couple of motivational messages for you to use each day to keep your enthusiasm, energy, and positivity at a consistently high level. All right, these seem simple enough. I mean, we all have our go-to playlist when we need to sing at the top of our lungs in our car. In fact, if you've got a favorite song, drop in the chat. I tend to lean towards Broadway. So One Day More from Les Mis or All That Jazz. Kathleen, I was hoping you'd say a great playlist. Or All That Jazz, which by the way, I like the Glee version. So I can either go with jazz hands or heart-wrenching at the top of my lungs singing. But giving that positive energy and music changes the way I look at my day. Okay, the next thing, which seems simple enough as well, a gratitude statement. Look, if you're a journaler, kudos. I am no good at it, but I am able to make gratitude statements when I wake up, when I go to sleep, in the middle of the day. Simply, I am grateful to get to fill in the blank. And I want to note that saying I get to instead of I have to is a definitive energy changer. You get to go to work. You get to take care of your family. Not I have to go to work or I have to cook dinner tonight. Next, positive motivational quotes. I have screenshots of these on my phone. I have them written on sticky notes, just like the Zig Ziglar quote. We all need a little boost, and reading a few motivational quotes does it for me. Ooh, Joan, a thank you folder to drop thank you notes into. Ooh, I love this. Yes, yes, yes. And emails. I've actually printed out emails when somebody says something and stuck it in my thank you folder. Great idea. Affirmations and visualizations. We're going to talk a little bit more about these in a sec. Read a daily devotional. Subscribe to an email newsletter. That is motivational. I recommend James Clear's Atomic Habits newsletter. If you've never done it, it's great. It's like 321. That's what it's called. And I'm going to do a little plug for me. I'm about to launch a short, simple newsletter to do just this and encourage and empower everyone to lead enthusiastic lives. Accountability texting. Have a friend that you can text and have code words such as positive or motivate me, and then respond with a positive text. You do the same for them. You celebrate each other's wins by having a weekly win text at the end of the week. And Monday morning, what are you doing this week? It takes a minute to make this happen. And you are supporting each other, which in turn will encourage and energize you. Okay, I'm going to give one other motivational. This is on my desk. Y'all remember Chicken Soup for the Soul? He wrote Chicken Soup for a gazillion different things. Well, one of the books that Jack Canfield wrote is called The Success Principles, How to Get from Where You Are to Where You Want to Be. It's a lot. I'm just telling you, it's a lot. You also see yellow sticky notes. There's lots of highlighting. But this, if I'm lacking in motivation, I go pick up this book and read a chapter. It's got quotes, it's got stories, it's got activities, action ideas, just a thought. Waffle Wednesday, we give, oh my gosh, that's fabulous. Where we give some life updates via video text and some things that we need help with to an accountability. Oh, that's fabulous. Yes. All right. Think of your motivational messages. Think about gratitude statements. Now I'm going to go back to affirmations. What was the book you just mentioned? It's called, Darla, will you write this in the chat? It's called The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. The Success Principles. I've just recently discovered the positive power of affirmation. My father, who was a minister, used to tell me to write sticky notes to myself about being confident and worthy, and I would always feel a little ridiculous. However, in the past decade, I've come to realize the incredible power of positive self-affirmation, and there is neuroscience that supports it as well. According to the National Institute of Health, affirmations can decrease stress, we all need that, increase well-being, improve academic performance, and make people more open to behavioral change. So, what is an affirmation and how the heck do I get one? Here we go, people. An affirmation is just a statement of positivity of who you are and who you are becoming. For instance, one of my affirmations has been, I am confidently living into a life of self-reflection and simplicity. I also probably need to say this one a little bit more. So far, not working so great for me. When I'm a little nervous over a meeting or having a difficult conversation, I say things like, I am a thoughtful, considerate communicator who respects and listens to understand. It completely changes your mind. It shifts it because you're saying to yourself, this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to do. Look at Kathleen dropping in that. Thank you, Kathleen. She says it's also on sale, the Success Principles. There you go. And I saw someone else said 321. What was 321? That is James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits. That is his newsletter, just as an FYI. All right, affirmation. I like to set affirmations around your goal. So if your goal is to lose weight or to become healthier, your affirmation might be, I am feeling strong and balanced at a weight that is healthy for me, right? I am, that's present tense, I am. An affirmation is a reminder of what you are striving to achieve and positioning it in a positive, proactive, right now kind of way. Once you have an affirmation, then add visualization to it. I picture myself looking at a body of water and being calm, content, and happy. You could picture yourself being physically active or wearing a particular outfit or making good food choices. But affirmations along with visualizations help your mind move forward in a positive way. So I want for you to think for a second, like if you're multitasking, come back to me, about an affirmation that you can state about your goal. Start with I am, use the present tense, state it in the positive, affirm what you want, not what you don't want. Keep it brief, make it specific, include an action word ending with ing if you can. Make it for yourself. And at the end, add or something better. Let's talk about or something better for a second, because this is important. There are times that we seek goals that may not ever happen, right? You want a particular job, or you want a particular house, or you're striving for something, and you set an affirmation. But I always want you to say, or something better. For what reason do I say that? Because there are times where we may not achieve our goal due to a lot of things we've already discussed, but it could be something better that happens in its stead. So by being positive and proactive with our mindset, we can say, I am this or something better. I hope that helps. All right, here we go. All right, we've adapted, pivoted, abandoned, or set a new goal. Yay. That goal has actions and activities as we have success metrics to ensure you accomplish it. Yay, you. And we now have affirmations. Oh, look, I've got one. And you're thinking about using that as a way to motivate yourself forward. I'm alive today, which gives me another opportunity to take another step, regardless of how big or how small. I love that. Congratulations to you. That is a fabulous affirmation. Say it to yourself every single day. Because no matter how big or how small a step you take or action you do today, it moves you forward. That's fabulous. I love that. All right, we are going to now move into, y'all, there's just so much going on in here today. Time management hacks, because you cannot achieve your goals, even if you're saying all the positive affirmations in the world, if you can't get your productivity in a place that makes it happen so you can get actions and activities completed in order to accomplish your goal. Now, we are going to do these in a somewhat freakingly fast fashion. Oh, say that 3 times. But I want you to know that there is a resource at the end that has these time management tips built out a little bit more and recommendations on who it works best for and when. Because I also want to say the more time management hacks that you have in your toolkit to use, the better able you will be to choose the one that works in a particular situation. There are days where time blocking, we're going to talk about that, works for me. There are, at the beginning of the week, I use the Eisenhower matrix. I eat the frog someday. Like, having those tools in your toolkit, understanding when to use them, and then actually making yourself use them on occasion. This is what moves you forward without going crazy, because we all live very crazy, hectic, busy lives. So slowing it down, having some time management and productivity hacks are going to make us move ahead. Here we go. Eisenhower matrix up first. I use the Eisenhower matrix on Mondays, really Sunday afternoons, when I'm setting out my week, right? And yep, it was created by Dwight Eisenhower. This matrix works well for people who have to deal with a lot of decision making, and I dare say that means every single person on this call. Look at what is important and urgent. Do or manage these. This would be your crisis, an upset client, or a due date on a project. Next, the important but not urgent. These are the tasks that move you forward, your daily work. Focus on those. The urgent but not important, and this is where I typically stumble. This is when you have a customer ask for something and they need it today, but they just asked for it last week and the week before. This is the old lack of planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. Limit those, delegate them to someone if possible. And last but not least, those items that are not important or urgent, which includes scrolling through Instagram and looking for that perfect new chair to fill your space in your living room, or going back and forth on Slack about social things and not about work things. Delete or avoid those. Thinking through what you need to get done to move the ball down the field, so to speak. Next up, eat the frog. Who in here struggles with procrastination? Raise your hand. I'll do these little things first and save the big thing because it will take more time or energy or whatever. And then you run out of time and energy and whatever. Try eating the frog. Do the most important thing and or difficult tasks first thing in the morning. I went over this in January when we did some time management hacks. And one of the girls and if you're on here, unmute and tell me you're on here. But she literally sent me a picture of a frog that she had gotten on Amazon. And she was like, I ordered this frog and I'm giving them to people in my department. Like, we're all going to eat the frog every day. And I thought this is a great visual reminder of, hey, let's get this done, right? Cute idea. All right, Pomodoro technique developed in the late 1980s by Francesco Cirillo, who was a little ADHD, couldn't figure out how to finish his assignments. challenged himself to focus for 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Encouraged that he was able to do that. He found a tomato, a Pomodoro in Italian, shaped kitchen timer, and the Pomodoro technique was born. This is great for people who struggle with distractions. Getting things done. If list, you guys, if you heard me in January, you know, if list making and checking things off was a love language, it would be my love language. I am an achiever, and making a list and checking things off is like a drug to me. If you add all tasks that are related to a project to a list, if one of the tasks associated with the project takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it instantly. Otherwise, schedule it as part of a project. Time blocking. We all manage. I actually am getting more and more into time blocking, and I would encourage you guys to do this, even if you can only do it for 30 minutes or an hour. You know, we've heard all the studies about multitasking doesn't work, and it takes 20 minutes to get refocused after you bounce. And bouncing from email to project to this truly makes things take longer. So, thought. Try a time block of 30 minutes to an hour if you totally are hyperventilating, thinking you can't stay away from your email for longer than that. Just try it for 30 minutes. Close your email, close your Slack, turn your phone into airplane mode, and really focus for 30 minutes on getting something done. You will be amazed at what you can get done when you time block. It is like my new favorite time management. It truly is. We all have multiple competing priorities, and we all have multiple projects, but this is a way to manage that by batching, right, according to a project. So think along these lines of buckets of time for each project instead of bouncing from one task and project to something completely separate. All right. I want to talk about some takeaways, and I want to review a couple of resources. I think we've got them in the chat, but I want to take some time and make sure that we have a goal written down, that we have a reward chosen, an affirmation thought of, even if you don't have it all written out yet. And I'd like for you guys to choose a time management technique that you are going to try, that you haven't tried before. So with that, I'm going to go over this, but then I'm going to stop screen sharing for a second because I really want us to have a conversation. So fill out your goal sheet, and we got those. We dropped the link in, and I'm going to give you a link to somewhere to download it along with some time management stuff. Don't forget to ask what has to be true. Create motivational messages. What are you going to do? You're going to have a playlist. You're going to have quotes. You've got a devotional. Use I get to. What are you going to do to keep your mojo going? Because you have to constantly reinforce that. It is not something that you do once and then, woohoo, you are there for the rest of the year. Okay. Think of ways that you continually encourage and energize yourself. Use I get to statements instead of I have to statements. Write an affirmation for yourself that goes along with your goal. Pick a time management tool or 3 or 4 that you're going to use, and celebrate your success, everybody. Okay, I am going to stop sharing for just a second. I would love to see faces if possible. And I would love for you guys just to take a minute and drop in the chat from today, either a goal that you've reworked on, a reward, an affirmation that you're going to state for yourself, or a time management. Pick one. Just pick something that you have gotten in the last, so far, 41 minutes that you're going to take away from today and you're going to implement. Because it doesn't do any of us any good if we attend these webinars, if we do not takeaway action items that we're going to implement into our world, right? So Tanya says she's going to use time blocking. I'm there for you on that one, Tanya. Eat the frog. Yes, eat the frog first. Airplane mode that phone. Y'all, my kids laugh at me because I airplane mode, and they're like, Mom, you airplane mode all the time. Sometimes we actually do need you. So I've had to work on that a little bit. Airplane mode, Pomodoro, eat the frog, time blocking, eat the frog. I love it. Yes, Melanie, planning, but I need to decide, delegate, delete some of them. I do the exact same thing. And I think those of us that are list makers, oh, I can see Melanie, she's up here on my screen. Those of us that are list makers tend to make those blasted lists, but we never go through and say, do I really need to be doing this? Or should I delegate this? Is this really important for me to do today? Or should I give this to somebody else? I am a recovering list maker, Melanie. I am right there with you. Eisenhower matrix for the win. Ooh, which y'all are gonna want to know this. And I on the landing page, I'm going to give you in just a minute, there's a link to this planner. Okay. So you know how I talk about quarters and to-dos? This is my new, I don't know if any of you people are paper people. But this is my new favorite planner, and you're going to want to know who does it. It's like Ramona and Ruth. There's a link to it on my resource page. But the best part about this, Melanie, is that it gives you, like, it tells you what are your top 3 priorities for the day. So, like, I know that I will have had a successful day if I check these 3 things off. If I get to some of the other ones that are on my list, that's great. But if I check these 3 off, that I've done something today, right? That's sort of my new, y'all can do that without having a planner. You can do that on your own, but prioritization of your list. Delegating is a leadership skill. Joan, absolutely it is. Absolutely. And it is so hard for us to do. Let's see, procrastination. I think we do that well. We all tend to do that. And sometimes I procrastinate because I think it's going to take longer than it actually takes. And then I do it and I'm like, wait a minute, that took 10 minutes. What the heck have I been putting that off for? Brooke, daily affirmations. Hello, Brooke. I see you. Yes, daily affirmations. Send me your daily affirmation. I'll encourage you. If somebody has a daily affirmation and you want somebody to repeat it back to you occasionally, you send that to me. I have several friends that do that for me, and it's just really beautiful. Yes, we will include the resources in a follow-up email. I'm going to give a shout out right now to April Dowling. Hello, April. She has her video off and she's muted. It's okay if you're multitasking. I don't have to see you. I'm just saying hi. Hi. All right. I want to say thank you to everyone. I'm going to share my screen for just one last second. And I'm going to give you guys maybe a parting word. We are all capable of so much more than what we do. It is just a matter of planning, priorities, motivation, and time management. Like Thomas Edison said, if we did all the things we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. Isn't that fun? All right. If you have enjoyed today's presentation and you want more, feel free to send me an email, lisa@enthusiastmarketing.com. There's a QR code that you can scan, and it will take you to a little landing page, and it has time management, productivity download. It has podcast recommendation, the planner link, just off of Amazon or from their site, an Instagram person to follow for successful mindset and motivation. So those are my resources for you. I want to know if anybody has any questions for me. Don't be shy. Really? Other than, who was it, Melanie, who told me that she's in a cubicle and she can't speak.
Okay. This is Sherry Banks. I am new to Momentum and I just going to be starting the new session. And I am so excited about these opportunities and everything like that. And um, where do I go to get, like, you keep talking about, like, in the, I guess there's like a little special folder or something to where we could get like access to all these little tips and tricks and
So
library or whatever.
yeah, so Darla's going to send you an email after this webinar, and it'll have a link, and you can just go there and you can download it. And it's not a lot, but I do try and give everybody what I have. And also, this webinar with all of the slides and everything will be posted on Momentum's website as well. So their website, Sherry, especially since you're new to Momentum, has a wealth of information and resources. It just, you could click around for days on end with everything that they have in there. So welcome to Momentum. We're so glad you're here. Enjoy. It's a wonderful community. Wonderful community.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Well, I got to give it back to Darla because thank you all for sharing your lunch hour with me today. I hope this encouraged you. All right, Miss Darla, have at it.
Oh my gosh, Lisa, I wish we had another hour with you. Thank you so much. This was not just fun, but it was very productive, which is right up my alley. I love your energy. I was telling everyone how enthusiastic you are and how energized you are and engaging. Today is exactly what everybody needed for the halfway mark in the year to keep going. And yes, everything that was done today will be on our website. And then in our follow-up email, we'll send all the links and the resources that Lisa has mentioned today, along with the worksheet. So be looking for that. And thank you, everyone, for being here today. Can't wait to see you all next month on our next one. And I just want to thank our sponsors for everything that y'all do to make this a free opportunity for everyone. We're just very grateful for all of that. And we love what Momentum is being able to do to help other women everywhere. It has, it amazes me, all the women that we're getting to meet and how we are impacting everything around us. So like I said, I just want to make sure that our sponsors do know that we appreciate you very, very much and all that that you've done for us. Here's their list of our sponsors. Our next training will be on August the 14th at 12 o'clock with Christine Roberts, and we look forward to seeing you there again. And Lisa, can't wait to have you back again. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Momentum's virtual trainings are made possible with the support of Protective Life, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama, and America's Thrift. Find the full list of sponsors as well as additional resources for women leaders on our website at momentumleaders.org. Thanks for taking the time to invest in you, and remember to like, subscribe, and share our channel. We love reading thoughts and comments, so you can leave those for us here too. You can also connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn by searching